Do you think the 49ers can stop Isiah Pacheco? They really couldn't stop David Montgomery or Aaron Jones. You could argue that those teams should have fed the ball to those two running backs more. And if they had, they might have won. Here comes Isiah Pacheco, and he just got like 20 carries in the AFC Championship game. They're committed to using him. What do you think? Can they stop him?
This is gonna be a huge challenge, right? Because he's 24. He's got the perfect running back build. He's 5'10. He's 216 pounds, so he's got pretty good heft. But he's also really fast, and yeah, he's good. He's really good. Now the question is this: sometimes Reed gets kind of like Kyle, and he gets a little pass happy. Isiah Pacheco only had 11 carries against the Raiders on Christmas night. He had 15 carries against them on right around Thanksgiving for 55 yards. I mean, you look at, he's had games where he was healthy where he had 8 carries, 13 carries. So sometimes they forget about Isiah Pacheco. They don't ride him. I mean, he's only had 20 carries in one game all year. So they don't use him.
Yeah, last week, yesterday, he had 24 carries yesterday.
He had 24 yesterday. But in the regular season, he had 20 against the Jets in first week in October. That was the only 20 carry game he had the entire time. Now he's had 2 20 carry games in the playoffs.
But also I'm more concerned about that. That's the trend now, how they're playing now.
2.8 a carry though is what he got against Baltimore. So I'll take 2.8 a carry.
Baltimore. The Niners have a run defense issue.
I know. So, I think it's going to be a challenge. I don't think he's as big a challenge as Gibbs or Montgomery, Jones. Those guys were hot. Gibbs is incredibly fast. Montgomery's even more powerful. But he's like a combo. He's like a cross between the running backs they faced. Yeah, he's going to be a major problem.
I think it's interesting if you go back and look at the Super Bowl. The Chiefs were more committed to running the ball in that game than the Niners were. The Chiefs ran it 29 times, the Niners ran it 22 times. Damian Williams got 17 carries for 104 yards, and Raheem Mostert got 12 carries. So maybe there's a little bit of element of Andy Reid saying, "Oh, you're a run game guy. Well, let me show you how it's done." And there's one you mentioned earlier in the show, like, well, the Chiefs only have Pacheco, Kelsey, Rice. True. What they could do, it'd be interesting. The Lions had some success with 2 tight end personnel, also 6 offensive line personnel, like heavy stuff. Wilkes wasn't really doing anything to counter it. And the Lions didn't have much of an explosive play action game to pair it with. But if the Chiefs try that, 3 tight ends, they have a lot of tight ends. They go 3 tight ends, pound the rock with Isiah Pacheco, and if the Niners finally put an 8th man in the box to try to stop it, wow, what a play action passing game the Chiefs could put together. It'd be a whole different thing. So it's not just can they stop Pacheco, but can they stop the combination of like a 13 personnel rushing attack with Pacheco and a play action attack to pair with it? That's going to be tough.
Well, and if you saw that Ravens game, I mean, the one thing that did stand out when they got in the red zone, they ran it behind the Chiefs have been for years with different personnel really dominant in the interior 3, going way back to Dave Zott and all those guys. Now they've got Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Joe Thuney, and Allegretti subbed in yesterday. When they got down in the goal line, they faked a lot of east-west, but they ran through the A-gaps. They ran Pacheco inside behind Creed Humphrey. So this is going to be an Eric Armstead, Javon Kinlaw, Javon Hargrave. Those 3 guys are going to have to step up inside because the run is going to come right down their throat, and the Chiefs aren't going to be fancy about it. It's going to be here it is. Here's our super electric 215-pound, 24-year-old running back behind our great interior O-line. Let's see if you can stop it.
Yeah, because you keep saying that the Chiefs were better in 2019. Maybe. They were definitely different, right? So in 2019, they had Tyreek. They still have Mecole Hardman, but they had Sammy Watkins. They had a lot of speed, and they were like an 11 personnel team, right? They would do formations with 3 wide receivers on one side and Travis Kelce flexed out to another, all kind of that stuff. Now they're not like that at all anymore. They're built around their offensive line. They have lots of tight ends. They can sort of be big and physical if they have. I mean, their running back is more physical than the Niners running back. They can be very physical. Their offensive line is freaking physical. It's a different team. It's interesting.
They just don't, like before they used to have depth of weapons. Now you pretty much know who's going to touch the ball. It's going to be Pacheco, Kelsey, and Rice.
And like
those are the guys
now they're
who are going
handling 2 or 3 times a game, and when he catches it, it's like for 30 or 40 yards. So you got to worry about him. But other than that, like no one else is gonna touch it. But
you know that who's gonna get it. And Rice is a rookie, and if you look at his game log this year, it's not consistent. He's had some incredible games, and then he's disappeared. So like a lot of rookies, some days, I mean, he had 79 catches for the year. But
hold on though, when he's targeted, Mahomes' quarterback rating is 123. That's one of the things I look at. Maybe that's
he's a tremendous,
but only 1 pick, 7 touchdowns.
He's great against Miami.
He's good after the catch. He's very good after the catch.
Yeah.
I
mean, and he's got good size, long arms, 6'1", 205 pounds, a little bit stronger than you think, a little quicker than you think. This was Danny Gray's teammate at SMU.
Absolutely. You know what loss hurt the Chiefs this year? McKinnon.
Yeah.
He was an important part of their Super Bowl winning team last year. I keep asking, like, is this team better than last year? They lost McKinnon. They could throw it to him.
You remember that play where McKinnon caught the screen pass and, rumbled through the entire Niner defense?
Yeah. You really want to throw screens against the Niners defense, as you know. Maybe they'll do that with Pacheco.
And they've got a little controversy coming into the Super Bowl about Kadarius Toney, who claims that he was healthy and that he's not hurt, and that the Chiefs listed him as hurt. So, he's had some kind of boneheaded decisions, and I'm not sure if they just don't trust him.
Cut him at this point.
I mean, he's got tons of talent, but I get the feeling they don't trust him.
They're like, Kadarius, we don't want to play you this week, but we're not going to embarrass you, so we're going to say you're hurt, okay? And he's like, no, I'm good. Like,
right, yeah.
All right, man. Well, you're just not good enough to play for us. How about to have it that way?